Hello, welcome. I'm Regina, and this is a stretch class. We're actually going to use the lacrosse ball. If you don't have one, you can use a tennis ball. You could use a frozen water bottle. A lacrosse ball is nice because it's super hard, but it's a little more spacious than like a golf ball. I wouldn't recommend that necessarily, but just use what you have if you don't have a lacrosse ball. I also have a yoga strap, and I have 2 blocks, and I have dumbbells because we're going to do possibly a tiny bit of weights. So just plan on weights. If you don't have them, you can do the work without the weights. So I'm going to have you lift your shoulders up, roll them down your back, and then I'm going to have you stand up. So we'll do feet work first. Just give your head a little side-to-side movement. And you're sitting comfortably, however it feels good to sit. But I'm going to have you stand up. So the work for our feet isn't about balance, so feel free to have your hand on a wall. And you can always slow this down. So we'll move things pretty quickly, but you can hit pause and take a little more time. So we'll have one foot on the lacrosse ball, the other knee is slightly bent, so your right foot's on the ball. You're going to work straight lines around the bottom, along the bottom of your foot. So you're working from the heel to the base of your toes, and the lines underneath your feet aren't exactly smooth, so it may not be perfectly even, but you're trying to just go forward and back. As you do that, notice where you might feel a little tension in your foot, maybe just how your foot feels, shoulders are relaxed. When we do fascia work, you want to breathe into your belly, let your nervous system know you are okay. When you're done with those straight lines, you'll bring your heel down to the floor. You have a bend in your knee, and you'll shift forward and back. So the ball is probably near the ball of your foot. The ball is near the ball of your foot or your arch. And then you could also go side to side. Shoulders stay relaxed. And then you can take the ball to your heel also, like if you had a high heel on, or your just heel was lifted. And it's a lot lighter pressure, and that's okay. You're still working your fascia. It doesn't have to be super intense. Then when you're done with those things, you'll roll the ball back to where you might want to linger. So you're looking for the tension. You can make circles, you could press and back off. As long as you can breathe into your belly, you're good. So you could press pretty firm, or you could keep it really light, but you want to be able to belly breathe. So fascia is like saran wrap. It covers all of our organs, tissues, everything. It keeps us upright, but it can get too tense, which affects all the systems in our bodies. So we're trying to get some more space in there, which then is good for the rest of our body and for our mind. Take a big breath out, breath in, and then a breath out. Good for our metabolism. Shoulders relax. Then another breath or 2. And then we finish up with scribbling and erasing. So it's really light pressure. You run the lacrosse ball all the way underneath your foot, including your toes this time. Just super light. And then you'll just land. Feet come hip socket apart. You can lift your toes up, give them a wiggle, bring them back down. Notice how your feet feel on the floor. Take a big breath in, let's reach up. Exhale, arms can go wide. And then do a shoulder roll. Lift your shoulders up, roll them down your back. And then let's do the other foot. So straight lines to start. Remember, it's not about balance. So you could have your hand on a wall, or on a couch, or a chair. Straight lines to start. You're pressing as firm as you want to, as long as you can still belly breathe, but you're noticing what's going on in the bottom of your foot. Then when you're done with those straight lines, you can do the heel one. Just move that ball a little bit, different parts of your heel. And then you can bring your heel down to the floor, and then you shift forward and back, your knees bent. I don't know if I did it on the other side, but you can always rock your foot side to side. And then you'll make your way back to the different parts of your foot that you felt like there was tension. So instead of trying to avoid the tension in your body, we're working to it, but you're being kind. It's not forceful. You're just trying to find the tension and then staying with it a little bit, working into it. So you can work out of it. Take a big belly breath in. Big breath out. A few more breaths here. Check your shoulders, let them relax. Couple more breaths. And we'll do that scribble and erase. And remember, you could always hit pause, But you don't want to spend too much time going scribble and erase. Your body can get sore from fascia work, so just respect the time limit. Get your toes. And then you'll just put the ball aside so it's not in your path. I tuck it under my mat sometimes, but it's really up to you. So lift your shoulders up, roll them down your back again, feet are hip socket apart. Inhale, reach up. You could take your feet wider. Clasp your thumbs if that feels okay, you'll lean to the right. If that does not feel great on your shoulders, you could always let your arms dangle. Take another breath in. You'll lean a little more to the right. Anchor your left foot into the mat. Inhale, you'll lift up, switch to the crossing, other thumb goes in front, and then lean the other way. Your shoulders can relax away from your ears. Take a breath. Then we'll lift back up. Let your thumbs go, arms can come down. Do another shoulder roll back, and then hands could go to your waist. Either hands could be on your hips, you could clasp your fingers together. You have that strap possibly, you could put it between your hands. Shoulders are down your back, palms could face in if you can't clasp them, that's a nice option. But you'll let your shoulders release and then reach your arms possibly away from your bum. Want to open up the front of your chest. Take a breath in, breath out. And then we'll warm up with some shoulder flossing, so we can do a few things with our dumbbells next. So that strap, if you have one, is wide, enough wider than your shoulders. You're trying not to let your wrists bend. You'll inhale, arms will reach up. You might have to stop with the band in front of your head. Some of you could go behind, and then you'll lower back down on the exhale. So we'll do that a few times. You inhale, lift up and back. I'm gonna have you start to engage your abdominals here. So it's more than just your belly button pulling into your spine. You can go there, you start there, belly button pulls in, but then even as you reach up, can you think about your ribs, so especially around your sternum, sliding down towards your belly button. And then from below, it's like you've got 10 miles left of that road trip, you're squeezing up slightly from below, like 30%, not 100. So your lower abdominals, your pelvic floor can start to kick in. Let's do one more of these. Take a breath in, and then breath out, arms come back forward. And then you'll put your band down. I'm gonna have us stay standing. You're gonna grab your dumbbells if you have them. If you don't, no worries, you'll do this without the dumbbells. Bend your knees, grab the dumbbells, shoulders roll down your back. So we're gonna hit a few exercises that just pretty much cover as much as possible. Palms face in, we'll do servo platters. Elbows are close to your ribs, palms face up. How about that instead of in? So you can stand with your feet hip distance apart. Otherwise, you can take a horse stance. Your toes and knees are out wide. And I'm just gonna go this way so I'm not staring at you. But you'll reach away, since I can't see you anyway. You reach away and then you pull your elbows back in. So you can see the side body variation. It's easier to tell what I'm doing than looking at me straight on. You reach away. So notice my shoulders are staying hopefully stacked over my hips. Your shoulders aren't, you're not rounding through your spine, you're nice and tall. You can work one arm at a time, awesome choice. Otherwise both arms work. You have 3 more. You could bend your knees more as long as you can wiggle your toes. Here's 2. We're changing our arms, keeping our legs. Dumbbells come in, we just want to build a little heat. Shoulders stay down your back. You can stay right here with some little pulses. This is really brief. Or you're going to reach your dumbbells away, pull them back in. You could keep the pulse or lose the pulse. This also could be like a mini O. So if we're going big, go for it. Otherwise it could be a smaller variation. Shoulders stay stacked over your hips. Knees can bend more as long as you keep your shoulders stacked over your hips, heavy, and your tailbones down. Here's 4. You have 3 more. You breathe out as you reach. We're done with the dumbbells in 2. 1 more. Dumbbells come in, press down, lift up. Turn your toes in, dumbbells, you put them down. And you could do super lightweight, like I said, no weight. It's up to you. Now, grab your lacrosse ball again. We're gonna lower to the mat. So, with this next one, we're gonna work our shoulders. You might wanna block for underneath your head. We'll lie down if that's too intense. You'll sit up against a wall. So this lacrosse ball is going in between bone. You're gonna go between your shoulder blade and your spinal cord. So you're not on the bone. You'll be in between. We'll start up higher. We'll work down toward your ribs. You're not on the bone again. So I like to start near the bottom of my mat with my knees bent because I use my feet to to move my body over the ball. One other option, you'll have a high 5 arm, your elbows bent, you reach across for your opposite hip, and then you open your hand back up. Here's the deal, if you cannot belly breathe, put your arm down, move the ball a little bit, try it again. If you still can't belly breathe, rest your arm down, you'll do the little moves. You want to be able to belly breathe so your nervous system knows you're okay. So we're lying down, or you're against the wall. Ball is going, I'm going to say your right shoulder, I don't care which shoulder you take, right away. If your jaw and your neck muscles are like, ah, you're going to take that block or your opposite hand, put it underneath your head. Okay, so you have a little bit of lift. It's not as intense. Now from here, you'll high five the ceiling if you're going there, and then you're reaching across for your opposite hip. You are moving with your breath, right? So you can breathe in or out as you reach across, and then vice versa. And if it's too intense and you cannot breathe into your belly, then you will put your arm down and you can work that little movement. So the camera may get blurry here, so if you'll listen, hopefully will give you enough cues. The big thing is you're staying off the bone and you're working in between, so you're right in the meaty part between your shoulder blade and your spine. Knees are bent, you could have your legs stretched out. I'm going to do a few more, and then I'm going to sit up while you finish. But you'll take a big belly breath in, hand could be on the floor, it could be on your belly, on your thigh, eyes could be open or shut down. And then when you get to your ribs, some of you could go underneath the corner of your rib, right? You could, the corner of your shoulder blade, you're going underneath it. If you have space, do it. Otherwise, you're just working around, but you're still off the bone. Take another breath. Breath out. Now you'll roll off the lacrosse ball. Just grab onto it. You're still lying down unless you're sitting against the wall. You can tuck the ball underneath you, the mat, or just hold on to it, but take up some space. So you're going to lie down. Legs could be stretched out, knees could be bent, palms to the ceiling. I want you to take a big breath in. We need a reset when we do fascia work. Big breath in, big breath out, and then you might notice, do you feel a difference between one side of your body than the other? Does one shoulder just seem to have more space around your shoulder blade than the other side? Maybe it feels very even. Does one leg feel longer? One side of you feel hotter or cooler? Just information, not good or bad. Other side. So same setup. You're going to maybe shimmy your way back down your mat. If you shimmied up, the ball either against the wall or the ball goes inside your shoulder blade and your spinal cord. So you're in the fleshy part. Your neck and jaw is relaxed. So opposite hand could be behind your head. You could have your head propped up on a block. I'm going to do this at the wall. Same idea, just a little less intense for some of us. The ball could potentially fall faster since you're not on it. If you want the seatbelt arm, comfortable legs, you'll bring your hand to your opposite hip, and then you open your hand back up. You might have to adjust that ball. So eyes could be open or closed. If you're decide to sit against the wall, you might have to do a little work to shimmy that ball down. Just play with it. So you're still working your way down your spinal cord, whether you're shifting with your feet and you're lying down, which is my favorite way to do this, but it's not everybody's. That's okay. You want to work down around the corner of your shoulder blade, but you're off your ribs and you're not actually on the bone, right? We're staying away from the bone, but you are looking for the tension. So check your breath. Big belly breath. Big breath out. You have about 3 more breaths here. It could be slower or faster than my breath. You're working into the parts that feel like they're really tense. And then last breath. Then you reset again. So you'll grab that lacrosse ball, roll off of it, whatever you need to do, tuck it aside. It's a good option. Then comfortable, you're stretching out again. So I'm going to stay seated since I just sat. Otherwise, you're lying down, feet can flop open, palms can be open to the ceiling. If you're against the wall though, take your shoulder blades to the wall so you have that feedback. You want to feel your body touching something so you know what's going on. Then take a big breath in. Big breath out. And again, check, does one of your sides of your body feel warmer? One side feel cooler? It's just information. One side might feel like it's higher or lower than the other. That's easier to tell on the floor than against the wall. The biggest thing I can tell is just how do my shoulder blades actually rest against the wall, like when they're touching. And then from there, we're going to do hips. So with this one, you're lying back down. We're going to use the blocks today. If you don't have blocks, but you have the lacrosse ball, you use the lacrosse ball. You put it under one hip, below your hip bone. You're going to roll around your glutes. Otherwise, you'll take your blocks end to end. You do not actually need blocks for this one. You can do the same thing without the blocks. I still feel something, so just if you're not feeling anything, the blocks might be a big help to you, but you can try it out. So we'll lie down. You'll set up in a bridge position. Your knees are bent, feet are hips distance apart, and then you'll lift your hips up so you can slide those blocks underneath your tailbone. And it's really where your belt loops would be, is where you want the blocks. So you should be able to bring your knees in line with your hips so your legs are at 12 o'clock. And again, this camera might move, so listen, maybe more, hopefully you can listen more than watch anyway. You'll rock your knees, arms could go wide, rock your knees to the right. So if they started at 12, straight to the ceiling, you're taking them to the right, more like 1 to 3 o'clock. And then from here, you're going to look for the tension. So your left bum cheek and hip is off the block or the floor. You're pressing into the right side behind around your hip bone. So you want to work into where you feel you're looking for tension in the back of your hip. You might have to take your knees closer in. You might have to take your knees further away from your face. Just play with it. Take another breath here. And same idea as the lacrosse ball. Eyes could be shut down, eyes could be open. You'll take your knees back to the middle. Couple options. You could lower your feet in between. You might have to readjust your hips. Maybe you stretch your legs up to the ceiling. And then we rebend, we go the other side. So knees to the left, so now 9 to 11-ish. Your right bum cheek, hip is off the mat. You'll make little circles, or you just lean and back off. You are breathing big breaths. Facial muscles are relaxed, eyes open or closed. You're looking for the tension in the back of your left hip. Take another round of breath here. And then you'll bring your knees back to 12, back to the middle. Feet can come down. Just take a breath, readjust your hips if you need to. And then maybe stretch your legs up to the ceiling. So we're taking waterfall. Feet are flexed. If this does not feel good for some reason on your back, you'll bend your knees, lift your hips up, get rid of the blocks, take your legs back up to the ceiling. You also could take your legs to the wall. I'm going to have you point your toes, flex your feet. Do that another time. Point and flex. Then you'll bring your knees in, just they're in line with your hips most likely. Left foot comes onto the mat, hug your right knee in again. So you might have to walk your left foot out a little bit. Watch out for any props that's in front of you. Okay, how's your low back feel? It shouldn't hurt your low back to be on the blocks. If it does, you're just gonna get rid of those blocks. You don't need them. Hug your right knee into your chest and then make a few hip circles. So you could rock your hip to the right a little bit, like circle it one way, and then you'll circle the other way. And then your left leg could be all the way stretched out with your heel down. That doesn't feel good. Bend your knee a little more, bring your foot on the floor. Once you've rolled your hip both ways, just see if you can hug your knee in gently a tiny bit more to your chest. It's not a big move because your tailbone's still long. It's actually a pretty small move. Take a breath in. Big breath out. And then you'll bend your left knee so your foot comes back down. You'll put your right foot down and then left knee hugs in. So same options. You could take your right leg long. Again, watch out for your props. I didn't move them. When I lay down, your right heel could reach away, so you have that length through the front of your right hip. Your knee could be more bent. How's your low back doing? And then hip circles on this side. You'll circle one way. You'll go the other way. Take a smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. And then you could keep your knee hugged in. Maybe take your knee a little more to the left. Just play with it. Maybe you could reach your right heel more away from you. Get a little more opening in the front of your right hip. those hip flexors get tight by sitting a lot, not necessarily strong, but tight and shortened. So we want to give them some length when we can. And then you'll bend your right knee so your foot can come back down, and then left foot comes down. So you just stay here for a moment, just supported bridge. It's a lovely place to be. Take a big breath in, big breath out. And then you'll lift your hips up, and then you'll slide those blocks out of your way. Just set them aside. Right leg can stretch up to the ceiling. Hands, if your strap is handy, you can grab it. You could stretch your left leg out, heel down again, get some length of the back of your right hamstrings this time. Left knee could be bent for that. Take a breath in. You could make some ankle circles, shoulders relax. And then you'll go the other way. So we did a tiny bit of strength work. We did the fascia work. Now we're trying to bring our nervous system back down a little bit more. So you'll lift your left leg up, right knee can bend, foot can come down, you can stretch your leg out, make those ankle circles on the left. Notice how your ankle moves. You'll go the other way. Take a big breath in, big breath out. And then just hold your leg for a moment, shoulders relax. Then I'll have you bend both your knees, hug both your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. So you can stay here with your knees pretty close to your ribs. You can take them wider, take a happy baby. So it could be a modified happy baby with your hands on your shins or even on the back of your thighs. With your low back down, you could do that rock side to side. You could grab the edges of your feet or your ankles and then stamp your low back down, or the option to rock a little bit. Take a breath or two here. Now we're going to sit up for a forward fold and a shoulder opener. If you need more time, you can pause this like you did with lacrosse ball work. Let your feet go or your legs go. Take a full body stretch, fingers reach away from your toes. You're not in a hurry. Take a full breath in, big breath out. And then you can bend your knees. We'll roll to one side. We'll finish class seated. Well, officially seated. And then you'll press yourself up. So legs could go straight out in front of you. You could take, that doesn't feel good, crisscross, butterfly. You could also take the blocks underneath your, like underneath the back of your knees. That might help your low back feel better. You have that strap, you could even loop that around your feet. But we're going to start really nice and tall. So you'll sit up really tall, arms can reach up, roll your shoulders down away from your ears again, and then we'll hinge forward. So collarbones reach for your toes, and then just let your hands land. Some of you could grab your toes, some of you could grab your strap. Hands could be on the floor if you don't have a strap. You could use a belt robe or anything, like a belt from a robe. Take a breath in. You could do leggings actually, hinge forward. Your resistance band, that would work. Pull your toes in towards your shins a bit, let your shoulders relax. And then let's fire up our legs just a little bit. You'll press your heels and the back of your knees and like your thighs down onto the mat, just for a moment, and then you back off. We'll do that one more time. Anchor down, lengthen through your chest a little bit, spine. Chest lifts as you lengthen through your spine, and then relax. Legs too. Neck relaxes, shoulders relax. So you can keep pulling your toes in. If you want more chill, let yourself be more chill. A couple big breaths here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Repeat that. One more time. And then you'll lift yourself up. I said we take a shoulder opener. So hands will come beside you, fingers face forward or out to the side, knees bend. We'll lift up into reverse tabletop. So hips will lift up, your belly lifts. You're working to lift your belly up high in line with your knees. It may not go there. You may be lower. You may need to be on your forearms because this doesn't feel good on your wrists, right? We want to open the front of your shoulders up kindly. So hips can lift, your chin can go towards your chest. If your neck is healthy, you can bring your head back. If you're not even sure, just look at your chest. Take a breath in, lift your hips a little bit more. Get the opening in the front of your shoulders. and then you'll lower down slowly. So your chin can come back toward your chest. You're lowering your hips down. If you want to work your triceps a little more, you're taking your hips back, and then lower your legs down, because who doesn't want to work their triceps a little more? Let's take a twist. So crisscross your legs. You can butterfly your legs. You could have them straight out in front of you. Take a breath in, reach up. Exhale is twist. Keep your height. Twist to the right. Feet are active, flex your feet, and then arms come down. Left hand's to your thigh, right hand comes beside you or behind you. Lift your shoulders up, roll them down your back. And then if it's okay, you can bring your chin to your back of your shoulder. Take a breath in, and exhale, you'll work the twist. So you could press into your thigh, not your knee, your thigh, and work that rotation. Think about it coming from the twist coming from your obliques, your thoracic spine, so right around your ribs. And we'll do that again. Breath in, get some more height, tailbone to the crown of your head, and then exhale, work the twist. Shoulders relax away from your ears. They often want to just help you. One more breath here. Then we'll unwind. Arms can reach back up. You'll switch the crossing of your legs if you were crisscross. Feet are flexed, you're crossing at your shins. Twist to the left. So right hand can come down toward your thigh, left hand can come behind you or beside you. Take a breath in, anchor your sit bones down, lift up, and then work your exhale. Work that, on your exhale, work your twist. I guess you could work your exhale. A couple breaths here. Chin can go to the back toward your back shoulder. It's really easy to let your shoulders kick in, try to help you. It's also easy to find a little bit of tension, like you hit that spot, and then quit working the twist. If you're up for it, work the twist. Let's try to get some mobility. How many times do you have to get something out of the back seat, or you're reaching across? And this twisting action, we're building some strength here, control through your abdominals, plus more mobility to make it easier to do those things without getting hurt. Take another breath in, breath out. And then you'll turn your chin back toward the front, unwind, inhale, reach up. Arms can come beside you and keep your legs like this. Bring your right fingertips down, left arm can lift back up and then lean over. Keep your left sit bone anchored, so your bum is down. You could walk your right hand out or bend your elbow or both. Left hand can go behind your head and even go across your chest. Take a breath. Maybe open your chest up a little bit more toward the ceiling. And then pull your abdominals in. Use your core to lift you back up. We'll switch sides. Find some length. Left hand comes down. This is the last bit of effort of class. Where do you want your arm? Anchor your right sit bone down so your both bum cheeks are on the mat. Use your core. Belly button pulls in gently to your spine. Knit your ribs down towards your belly button. Practice that motion of sliding your ribs down. Lift up from below and then lift yourself back up. Arms come beside you. Do a shoulder roll. Roll back one more time. Roll forward one time. I like to end on the roll back. Take a breath in. Move your head a little side to side. If there's another stretch you want before we close out class, you can take it. Otherwise, hands could rest on your thighs. You could bring your hands to heart center. Let's take a couple breaths here. So stretch, tiny bit of weights. You still showed up. Acknowledge your work. Celebrate what your body's able to do today, right now. No judgment. If you're up for it, take a moment for gratitude before you switch gears, get into the next thing, even if that's going to bed. Take one more big breath in, breath out. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a great rest of the day, evening, afternoon. I'll see you soon. Thanks.